Alright everyone, today is the day that we've all been waiting for. Or at least most of us has. So today is the day that Multiple Man is finally put into the Red Star Orbs and his offer is out. Not that I'm buying the offer, as you guys know, but, you know, hey, we have the Red Stars to look forward to because we've been waiting and wondering when it's gonna come. I mean, the event starts in 4 days. We thought that it was going to be coming like last week for the Red Stars, and nope. We thought maybe on Friday it would happen, and it didn't happen. Over the weekend, nothing happened either. So it finally came today. There was a little bit of an oopsies apparently at the start here with Multiple Man, actually for the first 10 minutes not being in the Red Star Orbs, but that has been fixed now apparently. And there is some other stuff I want to talk about. Probably not for this video, will be in a second video, but if you guys, not this message. Polaris, so in case you guys didn't see this, we have Polaris coming in the Strike Pass next month. So a whole, like more like a month and a half if you don't pay. That's going to be a subject of another video, but I just wanted to raise that now so you guys have the kind of expectation that something like that is going to be coming soon. That's not going to be in this video though. We're here to talk about Multiple Man. Gonna do some Red Star Orb pulls, and then in the second half of the video, I want to talk about other places that you could use Multiple Man in the event you're not using him with his team necessarily. So, without further ado, let's get this show started. Alright, and like I said, we've been waiting for some time for these Multiple Man orbs to show up in the Red Star store. I said that wrong. Doesn't matter. It's okay. We're moving on. I have 71 Red Star orbs, 5 Elite 4 orbs, and 2 Elite 5 orbs. Now, if you heard what I said earlier in the intro, Polaris is going to be coming in the Strike Pass, which isn't all that great, because that means realistically, if you're free to play, you're only going to get her at 2-star. And then if you pay for the Strike Pass, you're going to get 3-star. A little bit more if you buy her early offers. Why am I talking about this? Well, because originally I was going to be saving my Elite 5 orbs for Polaris. And now that I know that realistically, I don't even know if I'll get a 4-star if I don't pay for the Strike Pass. I was saving up my power cores to do some core orbing with Polaris, but I don't think that's going to be able to happen either. I don't know what I'm going to do with my Elite 5s. I think I'm still going to keep them. I don't think I'm going to be pulling them for Multiple Man, but I'm more than willing to pull some Elite 4 orbs and regular orbs and stuff as well. So that's what we're going to do for just now. Now, again, I'm not really a huge fan of Seed Theory. I really do not believe in this, but just for the sake of pulling orbs, I'm going to pull 10 orbs, see if we get any gold drops or good center drops, and if not, well, you know, I don't really know if I really believe it. P.S. I never did Seed Theory when I was pulling orbs for Silver Surfer, and I still managed to get a 6 Red Star Silver Surfer, as you guys know. I actually do have a little bit of gold. I really don't like doing this, but I'm pumping some gold right now into long shot anyways. I have a lot of stars right now. This is for another video. Ignore this right now. But yeah, we can go 300k, and then I'll bump that up. I was going to spend this gold on him anyways today, so because I'm not unlocking Multiple Man, that's not really happening. So let's keep going. If I don't get anything good after another attempt or two, then we're just going to dive right into those Elite 4s. So only because I can. I'm not a believer. I mean, it's just, it's orb luck. It's confirmation bias theory. It's all sorts of nonsense. We got a gold pull there. That was like 7 orbs, I think. So you know what? I'm just gonna pull these Elite 4s and hope for the best. So we're gonna start here with some Elite 4s. They're really not hard to get, so I might just be willing to pull all of them, see if I get any upgrades to my roster. Otherwise, it's just gonna pool more into the Elite 5s as well for next patch, because I don't know if I'm gonna be using them on Polaris at this point. Anyways, let's start. 4 Zemo, definitely a dupe, especially on the back of the Dark Matter milestone, so that's not at all surprising here. Alright, next one, we have 4 more. 4 Karnak, Also a dupe. More Elite 5 credits. Great. By law of averages, I actually have a pretty decent chance to get an Elite 4 of Multiple Man, I would hope. A 5. Also a dupe. Really? That was 1,750 Elite 5 credits. That was like a third of an Elite 5 orb right there. Wow. 2 more. Hey! We got it! And I didn't have to use... And that was an upgrade, like, higher than an Elite 4 orb, so that was great. There is a little bit of a better chance that I might be able to get a 5-star from a campaign event. I would have to get some pretty good luck on my power cores, and when I did White Tiger, I actually cored every single day, and I still didn't get him. I just barely got her to 4-star. So, we'll see. I'll try and push this a little bit more. Maybe I would, you know, core some extra campaign orbs if I got really close. I'd maybe be willing to do that, given how many cores I have saved, and knowing that I'm probably not going to be able to use it on Polaris, and I'd have to wait until next character. I was hoping that she was going to be a Blitz character, that way I could use my power cores to open some character orbs, but yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen. So that was, how many? 4 Elite 4 orbs. We got a big chunk of Elite 5 credits as well, for who knows, I'm going to be pulling that for next time. Maybe the next Legendary at this rate. Who knows? And I still got the 71 Red Star orbs. So all in all, I would say that actually that's some pretty good luck. Mostly because of my horrible, horrible luck with Moon Knight, if you guys remember that. And my good luck on Silver Surfer, meaning I really didn't need to dig into any of my regular Red Star orbs, which is great. So this is going to keep stacking up. Maybe I'll pull some of that for Polaris, because she's not going to be that high on my star list, probably because of the fact she's in the Strike Pass. But that's the end of the orb opening segment here, and I want to talk about Multiple Man in terms of where I think he might be best used for right now. Alright, and to illustrate my thoughts here on Multiple Man, we are going to be jumping over to msf.gg here. It is a little bit easier, especially if you don't have the character unlocked. You can kind of see the kits a little bit better, especially at this level 6 and level 6. It's level 6 and level 7 level. God, that was confusing. I don't know why that was so hard. So starting off with the basic here, and I also want to point out actually his traits, in case you guys were unaware, he is a Hero City mutant character. He is one of the first Hero City... Sorry, City Mutant characters is what I meant to say. He was the first City Mutant character. And so this means quite a bit in terms of his broader use elsewhere, particularly in Dark Dimension, which is something that we're going to get to after I go through the kit here. So his 1-2 punch, this really actually, his basic here, it's the only damage he actually has. But it does do just flat damage, and he gets more damage depending on how many dupe allies he has on the field. Now, in terms of T4s, really doesn't make a huge difference, but that's the only source of his damage. So unless you got crazy red stars on him, like 5+ maybe, you probably don't need to invest in this one here. But Helping Hand, energy cooldown of 3. This is mainly how he gets taunts. So he summons 2 dupes, removes all negative effects from all dupe allies, apply taunt and deathproof to all dupe allies, and if Polaris is an ally, let's not talk about Polaris right now, but clears all negative effects from self. So yeah, gain immunity for 1 turn. Now the difference between level 6 and level 7 is the Polaris thing, and that's it. Just that. So given what we know about Polaris's release method, I don't know. I don't think this is all that great. One-man army. This is his crazy, where he just like literally fills the entire field with dupes. This is a turn 2 ability, and it's on a very long cooldown. It has a cool energy of 8. It's very high. Summon 9 dupes. Apply offense up for 2 turns and 2 counter to all X Factor and dupe allies. Fill speed bar by 30% for all dupe allies. Now, I don't know if that's the ones that he summons or if dupes that are existingly out gets speed bar of 30%. I'm unsure about that one. And from a 6 to a 7 perspective here, it goes from offense up for 2 turns and 1 counter to 2 counters and speed bar change of 10%. So this one's probably pretty good if you're using him for war offense and you're using him for a wider X Factor team. You're getting that 2 turns of offense up, which is really important. Standalone, I don't know if you really need this necessarily though, so Take that with a grain of salt. Madrix Prime, this is his passive ability. When an enemy attacks multiple man, summon one dupe. This is pretty cool. On death of an ally dupe, heal 5% of this character's max health. Now, that is the T4 version. You don't get that at level 4. So that's quite important, I would say, and probably the main thing that he does need would be the T4s in the passive. Now, on War Offense, summon an additional dupe when multiple man is attacked. This is crazy. So you're getting 2 dupes on War Offense every time he gets hit by splash damage, by AoE, whatever it happens to be. And then on spawn, he summons 2 dupes as well. He gets 30% resistance, and non-summoned X-Factor allies also get 30% resistance. At level 4, though, this is only 15% resistance instead of 30. So keep that in mind there. Now, that is just this here. In terms of his character gear and stats, this is kind of important from a minis perspective if you're considering gearing him up a little bit further. So let's check this out here. So if you can see this on the side, we'll check specifically at tier 14 to 15, and so he needs a total of 4 mutant mini sets. So that's 72 of the G15 minis that you'll need for that. And from 13 to 14, it looks similar. So about another 4 sets of G14 minis. And what unique does he have? Well, in case you've been wondering, and it's cut off here on the side, my bad. It's Superior Ballistic Weave. So that's the same unique that's used for Mr. Sinister and Emma Frost. So I hope that you've been hoarding these or buying them up even more. We did get 15 from the Dark Matter milestone, but if you are considering him, taking him up to the Orange Gear level, you're going to need more and more of these. So do keep that in mind as well. In terms of his base stats, you can see that here. His speed is at 100. It's nothing, it's pretty average, but I mean, he is a protector. So even though the taunts don't come from him specifically, I guess they can't make him too fast, otherwise he'll be summoning dupes like it's going out of style. And I'm pretty sure that his dupes actually do have the same speed as well, so they can't be too high either. Otherwise the taunt will drop off. His base stats are actually pretty good. So this is looking at level 80. This is actually 7 wrestlers. Let's bump this down to 5. 5 yellow, 5 red, you know, and his... Why does that not change? Base stats should have changed actually there. I don't know why that didn't happen. That's weird, okay. Maybe, no, I don't know why this number didn't change. That's very strange. Anyways, maybe it's because of ISOs. Maybe it's just not playing ball for me right now. That's strange. Anyways, his base stats is pretty high in his health, but obviously he's not there really to do damage. His base stats might be okay on the damage, but he's only getting it out of his main skill from his basic, which really isn't going to do a whole lot. So he's mainly there to survive, and the longer he survives, the more of the clones that you're going to be getting. And now I want to jump really quickly back to the game where we can check out Multiple Man, who should be right here, and we can take a look at the clones themselves. So you can click on here, and they have all the same traits here. And so my guess is that if you have the T4 into the basic, that this is going to do more, but I'm not entirely sure if you need the T4s in the basic or the passive, which would summon him. I would probably say it's the basic, but I'm unsure which T4 actually contributes to the level 7 of this. If somebody knows a little bit better than me, then please let me know. But their basic attack copies and clears positive effects, excluding regeneration, otherwise that'd be too OP, and it would be, you know, a massive regen fest on him, and spreads all positive effects, excluding taunt and regen, to Multiple Man. So, you know, any positive effects that they manage to copy and clear off other characters are going to get transferred to Multiple Man. Things like speed up, defense up, death proofs, which is kind of important to keeping him alive, and the clones get 75% extra focus for this attack. Fortunately, it cannot crit though, but you know, there's going to be so many clones. I can see that getting out of hand, even if they don't hit very hard. You know, I think they're on the level of like Hela's Gregs, so they're not actually doing a ton of damage, and they don't have a ton of hit points. But, you know, with red stars could factor in, they're probably going to get one shot or thereabouts because they have death proof. But yeah, because there's so many clones, they can't be too powerful, right? Otherwise, I could see this becoming an issue. Now, the passive here on spawn, apply counter to the Multiple Man that summoned this dupe. So Multiple Man almost always is going to have counter to some degree, and then the clones get focus, I guess, out of this. But why am I talking about the Multiple Man dupes? This is an important thing when I was talking about where else can you use Multiple Man. And I'll tell you where you shouldn't use Multiple Man. Do not use Multiple Man, at least in my opinion, in Arena. So if you're a newer player who might get your hands on Multiple Man, I really don't think it's a great idea to be using him, mostly because he's going to be breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the symbiotes. So if any of you guys know when it comes to symbiotes countering as guardians, why does that happen? Because they have Hela, and Hela produces Greg, And then, especially with Carnage on the field, they can just over and over and over again trigger passes both for Scream and for Carnage, getting turn bar ad infinitum. Now, if you add in Multiple Man, who has clones every time he gets hit, this is just a recipe for disaster there. So I don't recommend using him in Arena or any mode. Probably not on War. I know he's not a War Defense team, but probably don't do this on War Defense. He'll get chewed up by symbiotes as well there. Any time, real time Arena, I don't know. Maybe it's going to vary, but yeah, if Carnage is on the field, definitely going to eat up any Multiple Man clones. So do keep that in mind there. But one place that I did specifically want to keep in mind here is Dark Dimension, especially Dark Dimension 4, but I could see this being a thing for Dark Dimension 3 as well. So in terms of the city roster, now I have some favorites here. These are kind of the top, what I believe to be the top Dark Dimension city characters, whether it's for 3 or 4 right now. And you know, what's interesting is that obviously Multiple Man is a mutant. So if you do happen to have any spare gear, then I think that maybe you might want to consider Multiple Man. Maybe. You know, I haven't done it myself. I know a few people have, and with some interesting results. So what you'll want to do, though, is you'll want to combine Multiple Man and his clones with Scream running with some of the other symbiotes, because Scream's passive specifically, on death of any character, heal all symbiote allies for 10% of this character's max health and apply speed up for 2 turns. Now, this is going to trigger every single time that a Multiple Man clone dies. So assuming you're running a couple of symbiotes, at least Scream, Symbiote Spider-Man, and maybe Anti-Venom, something like that, you know, this is going to trigger a ton of times. And I know that's only going to be triggering for the symbiote allies, but hopefully you might have Anti-Venom, whether it's a Gear 14 or 15 for Dark Dimension 3 or 4, and then maybe he can help keep Multiple Man alive. Or if you're running healer ISOs, you could consider doing that with Multiple Man as well to sort of keep himself alive. If you happen to be running Night Nurse, another strong choice. More for Dark Dimension 4 because of the skill gear, but if you happen to want to bring her up for Dark Dimension 3, again, another character that could keep Multiple Man alive as well. So I think this is pretty interesting. Now, in terms of other places, raids, things like that, probably don't see that being a thing, at least not for now, because he's going to be a limited time character in terms of how you're able to obtain him, and then he won't be made farmable for quite some time down the line. But I think this addition with Dark Dimension is definitely quite interesting and maybe something to look into. I would love if someone tried this. I would myself, but I'm already knee-deep into Dark Dimension City, Dark Dimension 4 City, so I won't get a chance to do this on my first pass. But something that I would love if someone else did that. So if you do, you know, let me know how it goes and keep in touch with me, because I think this is something there, especially if you're running Multiple Man alongside Scream. But that's just all for just now. Obviously, because I'm not unlocking Multiple Man, there's not too much I can say about him at the moment, and I'll have to wait until Friday, like the rest of you, at least free to play, to try and get him unlocked, where, you know, I'll core him definitely for sure, especially on the back of that red star pull, and see what we can get him to, and try to gear him up ASAP when I do get him unlocked. So that's the end of the video for now, and of course, until next time, guys, stay safe, and I'll see y'all later. Boylon signing out.